Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar, aka the Beard Guy here, and welcome to another Lunch with Norm, the Amazon FBA and e-commerce podcast.
Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch with Norm. Lunch
Okay, today we have an awesome show. Now, I've got to say, I really appreciate our guest. She came in on such short notice, but it's going to be an awesome topic. We're going to be talking about the new product opportunity explorer, and we're going to talk about the proper way of editing and adding flat files. So, as the founder and CEO of Online Seller Solutions, our guest has helped many sellers free themselves from pain and dealing with managing with their Seller Central account. I feel that pain. Anyways, she is a problem solver for the unsexy stuff on Amazon, and she's also the co-host of Wizards of Amazon. I'm going to blow this. Espanol? I don't know. I probably messed up the anyways, I can't even speak French. Well, maybe I know one or two languages there. I can say French toast and mayonnaise. But as for Spanish, I'm going to have to let her teach me a little bit of that. Okay, so her name is Vanessa Hung. She's awesome. Carlos Alvarez, I got to give out a shout to you. I went over to him and said, hey, I need somebody for the show. We got 30 minutes. And anyways, he said, I've got the perfect person. I know Vanessa from all sorts of different conferences, and she is awesome. But before we get to her, I just want to give a big thank you out to our sponsor, Global Wired Advisors. They are a leading digital investment bank focused on optimizing the business sales process. For more information, please contact Chris and his team over at globalwiredadvisors.com. Boy Wonder.
Hello.
There you
Happy
go.
Friday.
Happy,
Got a little
happy.
adrenaline going, a little bit of excitement. Welcome
Woo.
everyone to the show. Welcome Marina, and I believe this is Rad joining us. If you're watching, let us know that you're watching. Say hi in the comments. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. I'm over here in Toronto, Canada. I believe Vanessa's in Florida. So we love to hear where you're watching from and where in the world the Beard Nation is. So welcome everyone. It's going to be a fun show. So this is a little short notice, but we managed to put everything together, and I think it's going to be great. Smash those like buttons if you haven't already. Ooh, we've got someone from Queensland, Australia. That's awesome. It's got to be late for you. If you have any questions, put them over in the comment sections. This is a live podcast, so if you have questions, concerns, something that you want advice on that we're talking about in the podcast, just put them over in the comment sections. We have a great giveaway as well. So we'll be holding a small Q&A session throughout the podcast, and it's going to be good.
Victor, you're joining us right now, I see. And unfortunately, Brandon, he had a cancellation with his flight. So sorry about that. You can razz him next time. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about is this is going to be about flat files. This is going to be about the new Explorer tool that's come out, the Product Opportunity Explorer tool. And we'll get right to that in a second. If you have questions or comments, throw them over into the comment section. So sit back, relax, and grab a cup of coffee. Hi, lady.
Hi, Norm. How
How
are
was
you?
my Spanish?
We need some lessons to improve on
You
that.
think so, huh?
Yes, just a little bit.
Oh, just a
You're
little.
almost there. You're almost there.
Okay. Almost fluent. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So just in case people have not heard of you or what you do, can you just give us a brief update?
Sure. So I'm the CEO and founder of Online Seller Solutions. So what we do is help sellers to relieve their pain or take away their pain to handle Seller Central. So anything in Seller Central by PPC, meaning catalog, inventory, account health. So what we do is make sure that your account is active, that your products are running, that you don't have any issue going on in the back end, optimizing as much as possible for you to sell better. So in that way, we let sellers to focus on what it really matters for their business, which is keep growing, keep adding products and stuff like that, and not that, like the day-to-day issues that they have.
Right.
And also, I'm the co-host of the podcast Wizard of Ecom en Español.
There we go. That's how it's pronounced, right? There
Yes.
we go.
Yes. And yeah, I'm in this mission of sharing information about what sellers think is the unsexy stuff of Amazon. Because obviously, when you talk about PPC, ROI, ACOS, stuff like that, numbers that are very sexy. When I talk about flat files, people like, I don't know. So I really put a lot of energy into our social media channels to explain very simple ways what are the things that you can do in your account that will help you manage your account better, have better results. And it's easy, it's not boring, it's not reading a policy in Seller Central. So I try to make that fun.
Great. And we're going to try to make that fun for the listeners today. So, flat files, we've talked about this a few times on the show, and it's so important that you use flat files to upload. I try to tell people not to do manual listings, like just don't go in and change it. And let's talk about that. Why is it important to use a flat file?
Well, there are a lot of benefits. So let's talk about the flat files related to catalog optimization, right? So those are the category flat files that have the information and all the attributes that a listing can have, right? So if we put in a balance those flat files versus what you can do in Seller Central, like the UI of Seller Central, there is a lot of missing information in Seller Central that is not showing. So what happened is that you are missing the opportunity to optimize those spaces. And when you contribute to your listings through a flat file, that will stick in the back end of the catalog. So it makes it more complicated for hijackers or even Amazon itself to change the information in your listing. And that's something that many sellers suffer from. So for no reason, they woke up and say, like, Vanessa, the size of my product changed for no reason. So now customers are confused. So things like that. Normally it happens when the whole listing was built in Seller Central. When we start using flat files, those contributions are for some reason harder or more important for the system. It has a higher contribution rights. And that's what I love, especially not only in the part of the creation of the listing, which I really advise sellers to create their listings through a flat file. I know at the beginning it's a little bit intimidating, but literally knowing how to handle that will change for sure the management of their catalog. It's a game changer.
It,
And
it, oh, go ahead.
yeah, and the other thing that I'll say about flat files is that it's the best tool for problem solving. So if you ever have an issue, instead of going immediately to talk to seller support or email seller support, flat files can give you answers before that. So you can literally create a diagnostic of your listing if there is an issue through a flat file, and it will give you the answers that you may be looking for when you contact seller support.
So I just want to talk a little bit about the hijackers in case people don't understand, what's going on. When we're talking about hijackers, somebody that's taken on your listing that can manipulate your information. I mean, there's a difference between somebody selling and coming up like if you have your ASIN up there and somebody's selling your product. It's a free open marketplace. People can do that. You're brand registered. You can protect that. And usually it's just people that don't really know about it. They're new sellers and they're just seeing your product and they want to market that. But then you've got those other people who really want to do damage because you might be, you might have more market share than anybody else, or for one reason or the other, they want to hurt you. They can go in, and I've seen this 1,000 times, where they can change an image, they can change your title. You can't do anything. You're locked out basically of your own revisions. You try to upload flat files afterwards or do manual changes, you can't do it. And the reason for this is because you've left, well, for the most part, it's because you've left it, a flat file or an opening for them to come in and scoop up your listing and take the control away from you. So that's how important it is. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, for sure. So that's one of the most interesting parts and the biggest benefit of using flat files. I don't know if you're familiar with a flat file called the category listing report.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so many sellers are not aware of that flat file, and this is an Excel sheet with all the information of your whole catalog. So everything is there, and not only the information of your products, but also all the attributes that can go into those listings. Each cell that we have in that spreadsheet, it's an opportunity to fill in information, and each cell that is left in blank is an opportunity for other people to contribute to your listing and hijack it. So what happened is that Amazon have this system that they reward contributors, right? Amazon likes people that create listings. Amazon likes people that make better listings. So it's difficult for the algorithm to identify who's a hijacker and who's a true contributor. So when we leave spaces in blank and our competition or somebody that want to hurt our listings download that report and try to find that information that is left in blank and change it, all of a sudden they have the rights to contribute to our brand, to contribute to our products. This is something, so there is layers of contribution rights. Normally for people that have brand registry, that's more difficult for hijackers to do. For people that are doing just reselling or they have their own private label but they don't have brand registry or they don't have their trademark, it's extremely easy to lose control. And we already gave a lot of control to Amazon. And the way I see it is that the only thing, and this is my opinion, the only thing we really have on Amazon is the information that we put into the listing. Anything else is not under our control. The only thing we can control. So I see contributions and I see filling in information in flat files as an investment. Every time you invest in optimizing your listing, you will get more control. And once you get more control, Amazon will reward you for that. So your seller score, your contribution rights will go higher. And hopefully that will help you to sell better because you have an optimized listing, almost impossible to hijack. I wouldn't say that only by using flat files you will be completely protected, but it's the best shield that we can build. And it's something that if we start getting control of and understanding the importance of it, you can fight those. And yes, you can start using it as a tool instead of just this is an information file.
So let's talk about the manual listing. It seems that manual is very easy. You know, it's graphical. You can go in and you can change it, but you are going to miss, like you were talking about at the beginning, different fields that you don't see in the back end.
Yeah.
So when you go into edit, to get your flat file, first of all, there's a gazillion different fields there. But if you take a bit of time and you just spend like 5-10 minutes to understand the layout, when you go and there's 3 or 4 tabs, right? So that you've got examples,
Yeah.
validations.
Valid
Uh,
values,
yeah.
images, definitions. Yes.
So let's go through those. So to understand the flat file, they have a template there, but you really should, if you want to make it easier on yourself, if you understand what each of those tabs will do, you'll have a better understanding. And by the way, one of the reasons why I like these flat files as well is you have a specific definition, so a specific value. When you try to do it manually, you might not be putting up the right value, and that could hurt your listing rather than make sure it's correct. So let's go through the tabs. So we do have the example tab, and then what are the other tabs?
So there is a definition tab, which is the first one. When you open the file, it's the first one that shows there. It's just like instructions from Amazon and the definition of what is that flat file for. Then you have the valid values. Valid values is the one of the best ones, the complementary tab, because when you go through a column, right, and it has an attribute that you want to fill in, sometimes, and this is something that happened with flat files, there are open fields and drop down menus. So open field, it means that you can literally put whatever you want. The only limitation there is just the amount of characters that you can input. But with the drop down menu, sometimes it's difficult because when you download the report or the flat file, it doesn't show what are the options. So when they don't show in the template tab, you go to the valid values, look in the list, you look for that attribute that you want to input, and it will tell you what are the valid values that you can put there. And it really needs to be exactly as it is, because if you try to put something different or spell in a different way, different spacing or whatever, it won't work, and it will give you an error. The common error for that is not matching or invalid values. It will say once you upload it and you get the report back with the problems. Then there is the images tab, which is just the example if you want to upload images in your flat file. And this is a question that I get a lot. People ask me, hey Vanessa, I really want to change the information in my listings, but I don't have the URLs for my images, or I don't really want to hurt my images or whatever. It's as simple as deleting the whole section. So of the category listing report, for example, that's a protected sheet, okay? And what you do in Excel is that you go to the data section and you unprotect the sheet. Once it's unprotected, you can make changes to the columns. So what I advise people to do is just delete the whole section that is images. Normally in a category listing report, it's like the yellow section, and you just take it away and upload it like that. And that's another benefit of using flat files. They are customizable. You can literally use them to just upload or update what you want.
Right.
It's not, and that's something that happens in Seller Central. For example, when you are filling in information in your UI, it'll tell you all the things that you need to fill in. If something there you don't fill in, it won't let you click save and finish. But with the flat files, if I just don't want to fill in the images because I still don't have it, but I want to create my listing or I want to optimize my listing, I just can delete that section and upload it. It doesn't give you any problems. On top of that, if you get savvy enough to play with them, what I do is some categories don't have, and this is like going into a little bit more intermediate advanced knowledge, is the category listing report will tell you and give you all the attributes that your subcategory or the subcategory where you're selling have. For example, you're selling in the category of pets, right? But you're selling a water bottle, whatever, for pets. That subcategory have specific attributes that are related to that specific product. But there are some other subcategories within the pet category that had opportunity to fill in information in your listing, even though it doesn't uh, show in the front end necessarily, but you can use that. So you can optimize based on the whole category, the whole attributes that the category provides. And that's super important, because most of the times when people get hijacked, it's because they fill in information that is not in the front end, because the front end is easy to know. And actually Amazon give you warnings when something in your listing is not optimized or is not filling. It will go to suppress listings or enhance dashboard. uh, but the other part, where you can literally take all the attributes of the whole category and put information in about your product, that's where it makes it interesting. So I can add columns that are not there, I can force columns. And so this is a super easy example. There was a time where a seller came to me and said, like, my product got hijacked, I sell tools, and now it's getting flagged by as an adult product. But when he downloaded his flat file, the the column that's called is an adult product did not exist. So you're like, okay, how can I fill in that information if that doesn't exist? And I'll tell you, you just need to copy from one other flat file and paste it in that one and transfer the information. It's that customizable, and it's amazing, and I love it. You can play a lot with it. So
So
I
many
mean,
people
I have
don't know about that.
yes, I have fun with it playing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But the important part is that no matter what, the backend, it's like optimized, because that's what we don't see. And and this is cool, Norm. Sometimes I cannot tell you if it will work in every single category, but there was one time with that same category, the tools category. You know, under the price in your product detail page, under the price, you sometimes have like a table of technical details. So this seller did not have it. He was like, "Oh my God, how can I have that details? Because my competition have it. Because I
Hmm.
feel that if my customers see it, they will buy more." Blah 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 blah. We optimize the backend of the whole category of tools for that specific product, not only for the subcategory attributes. And all of the sudden, the technical details table show up. So imagine how important is to understand how customizable can be and start playing with it, because every single time we input information, we have an opportunity to change something in the front end that will make you index better, get better traffic, or stuff like that. And if you optimize it and nothing changes in the front end, it doesn't matter. At least Amazon have it in the back end, and that will prevent hijackers to come in and fill in something that is weird.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's really great news. I was thinking when we were talking about the images and not getting rid of the images, but I've had listings where people have changed the images on me, primary images, whatever image. If I were to upload the images from a URL instead of going through manually and uploading them,
Mhm.
because normally I'll just put them in manually. It's too much of a pain to do it with a URL. But would
Yeah.
that protect the images at all?
Yes, for sure. Actually, I we worked on that same issue maybe a week ago. Um, this seller didn't know where the change was coming from, but the second image now was the first image, and the first image now was like the seventh. So it was weird. Something changed. I don't know if it was Amazon, a hijacker, but she contributed those images through the Seller Central. What we did is just get the URL and upload the flat file, and it changed. And it's been now a week and she haven't had any issues. So my point is, every time you use flat files and you contribute with that, the contribution is more important, or is harder in a way that the system locks that better than what you contribute through Seller Central. So yeah, I agree. I think it's important. If you, for example, if you have everything optimized in your listing and you download the category listing report and you don't have the URLs for your images, I do recommend you to fill in everything. The other thing that we can do, as far as protection with the flat files, is that once we go through the whole process of optimizing the category listing report, which is the report that will give you the most amount of attributes to fill in, you have it optimized and you will upload it. So for people that are suffering from hijackers, or for people that are suffering from changes or getting shut down, you upload that category listing report constantly, meaning like maybe once a week, maybe once a month. It really depends on how much you get problems.
Are you serious?
Because yes, because so see that. Imagine you want to hijack my listing and you upload a flat file with the things that you want to change. So Amazon will see in the back end that the last contribution came from you, right? But what I do to protect myself is every week I upload my category listing report. So I try to every week be on top. So the last contributor, the last contributor will get the most amount of importance, because it will be the more updated information. So keep updating. So you will always be the last one to contribute. And that's really important if you're suffering from hijackers.
Okay, so I want to, if the people that are listening, I just want a really quick answer. Is this news to you? It's news to me. I didn't know you'd have to upload. Like, I know that you should go through and check it once in a while, but I had no idea to put it up that frequently. So that's a nugget for me. One of the other things I think that we should talk about before we talk about, we're so late for the giveaway, but one of the quick things is, how do you even get to the category report? There's a lot of people here that won't know how to get it.
Of course. So I'll explain it, but I also have an SOP, so I'll give it to you so you can share with your community.
Oh, beautiful.
It's super simple. And the problem with the category listing report and why people or sellers don't know about it is because it's not public. You need to request that information. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open a case with seller support, email, call, whatever, and you're gonna request, like, please allow me to download the category listing report. Within 10 or 15 minutes, you will go to the inventory tab. And in the inventory tab, there is a inventory reports. So that will get you to a dashboard. On top of that dashboard, there is a drop-down menu with all the inventory reports that you can download. If you go right now and you haven't requested for the category listing report, you won't see that option.
Right.
Once you open the case and they tell you it's open, you will see in the drop-down menu category listing report. And then you can download it. The cool thing about it is that you can download the category listing report, filtering the categories. That's cool. I wouldn't do it, because why will you miss the other attributes that you can fill in? And you can also download it by dates. So for example, I want to see my catalog, the last 6 months of products that I launched, not everything in my catalog. So you can filter that and then you download it. That's super easy. The only thing that I'll say is, when seller support give you access, they will normally tell you in the case for how long do you have access. Right. Because it's not open forever. So every time you want to do something, you need to request for that. And hopefully, if you requested enough times, in one account, I requested so many times that they're like, you know what? There is 6 months of your category listing report. Don't call us again. So I got to have, what was that? 180 days. But normally they give it for 7 days
Yeah.
to 14 days.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's a lot of people that are probably listening are using a flat file that they're getting. They're finding their flat file, like a regular flat file that they're getting from, where is it?
The download
Exactly.
download specific categories.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So what I was going to say there is that you can do that. This is much better. But the other one, like the one we were just, the latter, is something that you have to download on a regular basis. Don't go like a month or 2 months and think it's the same file. So make sure that if you are going to upload that flat file, that you do download a new file. I've made a mistake early on in Amazon when I was uploading some of my products, and it was the wrong flat file. And it was an old flat file. So I saved everything. I thought, oh, this is really cool. And it's easy to do a partial update. And I messed things up because it was an old flat file.
Yeah. So that's when, if you want to know the version of your flat file, you go to the top row.
Mm-hmm.
In the top row, there is information of what's the template, what's the version, and when did you download it. So I wouldn't say that the old versions are bad, because, and this is something for problem solving, old versions sometimes can be helpful, because when Amazon changes stuff in the algorithm, well, not in the algorithm, in the back end of the catalog, they, for example, and they released that news. It was something that they will get rid of. What was the field? Well, they are gonna get rid of one field that is not gonna have value anymore in the catalog. Okay, when they do that, they change the template. They change the flat file. Okay, and once they change it at the beginning of the change, those have glitches a lot. So if you use them, if you use the last version, sometimes those tend to have more problems than the old ones. So I use old ones sometimes to change stuff that wasn't there. Especially when they change the name of the attribute. So, for example, there is one attribute that before was called style, okay? And now they are changing it and they are putting it as, I don't know, style fabric, okay? That difference make a huge change in the backend. So now when you fill that information, it will change stuff in the front end, and at the same time, they don't change at the same time. So Amazon can make changes in the catalog in the backend, changing the list, the attributes, but in the front end, you're still seeing the old. If you don't find the old in the new version, it's almost impossible to change it. That's why I save the old versions, and I'm very aware what's the date of that version, because if something changed and I need to change that attribute that is not longer there or whatever, I refer to the old one. So yes, download the fresh, the new. But if you ever get stuck into, okay, it's not letting me change something that it's not there anymore, go to the old ones. And it really doesn't give you a lot of issues if the flat file is optimized. So yeah.
All right, very good. I saw a comment from Jeff just saying that he's had a hard time interacting. I saw another comment that came up just shortly after. But Jeff, if you are having problems interacting or asking questions, or maybe you've asked a question earlier on, we'll get to the question shortly. Usually it's what are you going to say, Kels?
Oh no, he was just saying he hasn't been able to come on time, like
Okay, so you're
come onto the podcast.
okay. So
Yeah, just
get oops the other way. Get there. He's off the screen now. Okay, so we got to get to this giveaway. You've got a really awesome giveaway today. You want to just talk a little bit about it?
Sure. So this is what we do for clients that want to work with us. Sometimes people reach out and say, like, Vanessa, I have this issue. And they're like, and I know that my account is not optimized, and I know my account is not up like to its full potential. So I want you to take a look at it. So what we develop is a system, a report that is a written report with a lot of information on the sections or on the three main areas of your account, which is the catalog, inventory, and account health. And in that report, you will get the status of what is happening there. So if you feel that you have a lot of issues, if you feel that your account can perform better, you will probably get advantage of having an audit, which we go in depth of what is happening. So the presentation is a written report. If each section is divided in its little areas, and we give you the situation, we give you a possible solution, and the importance of why that needs to be solved. So the account audit, if you get to engage with us, we will obviously use that as a roadmap to fix your account and get you to wherever you want to go to the full potential. Or if you already have a team that is working in your account, you can give that report and say, like, look, it's like going to the doctor. Look, this is what the doctor said, like, fix it. So if you already have the team, it's beneficial. If you want to engage with us, it's also like the roadmap of what we're trying to accomplish. Just for the audit, we charge $750. But if the client gets to engage into a monthly management or whatever, that will get deducted from the monthly fee. So yeah, it's extremely valuable. I had a lot of good feedback from it. People that had a lot of issues get a heavy report. Like, the longest we have done is like 22 pages. So
Wow.
22 pages of problems. Um, and yeah, it can be very valuable for people that are there that think that they don't know how to handle stuff. Because I know maybe one listing sometimes is like, okay, I handled that issue. But when you have fires everywhere, so you never reconcile inventory, you have a lot of problems with your catalog, your parents are not together, like childs are all over the place, your account health is a mess, there is a lot of issue with voice of the customer. So all this stuff that can be very overwhelming, what we give you in that audit is just the roadmap. Like, this is the situation. Just stay calm and let's fix it.
Okay, very good. So, as you can tell in today's podcast, I would be jumping on the hashtag Wheel of Kelsey or tag two people and you'll get an extra entry. But I would be all over that audit report. Now, Vanessa knows her stuff. And if you can't tell, just, if you're new, if you haven't been listening the whole time, wait till this is out on YouTube and go back and listen, because there's all sorts of nuggets she's talking about with flat files that if you're not doing, you are really missing out on. And Simon, by the way, you don't like my glasses? I'll switch them up for you. Okay. So anyway, he's such a pain sometimes. God. All right, Simon. Okay, so let's keep talking about flat files, and then we'll get over to some of the questions. We might not get to the product, the product opportunity explorer.
Yeah.
We can come back and talk about that another day. But this has been really amazing. What else can you talk to us about flat files?
What else I can talk to you about flat files? So the catalog flat files are the ones that we already talked about. And I saw a question, I don't know, it was asking something, will uploading a flat file help with suppression due to price? Not really. The problem with pricing is not the contributions. If that Amazon is saying that your product is off somehow, low normally it's like because the price is higher from what the market has. So my advice to you is, yeah, you can use the flat file to input the information for the minimum and maximum price, and those need to have a huge range. So for example, if you're selling something of $50, you want you want to be your minimum to be like 48, okay, and the maximum maybe 160. So 50, it's reasonable for the algorithm to understand that your price is reasonable. um, you definitely have those attributes in a flat file and you can upload that, but I have come across to this issue, and flat files are not the best way to solve it, because what is triggering that is the analysis that Amazon is doing of the market and where they put your product against, or when they compare it against other listings inside or outside of Amazon. One tip that I'm gonna give you is like, make sure that the unit count is accurate, because sometimes it happens that you get triggered for high pricing error, or a suppress for high pricing, and the thing is that you're selling a bundle, okay, of 3 units, and you have the price for obviously those 3 units, but Amazon doesn't have that information, and they think that your listing is just 1 unit, and when they compare it to the market inside of outside of Amazon, they're saying like, look, this guy is charging 3 times more, so
Right.
we're gonna suppress him. So make sure unit count, package quantity is accurate, and if you're still having issues even when you fill all the information, the best thing to do is just call seller support and ask them to refresh something in the back end. I feel lately they've been very responsive with that. And if they get back to you saying that they analyze the market and they still think is there is something wrong, just try to change information into the listing. So make your listing special and differentiate your product from whatever other people have in a way that Amazon doesn't put you in that bucket. So that's important.
Let's talk about, like, since we're talking about price for a second, I get a question a lot of the times. Um, am I getting that? Am I getting the buy box removed because I'm on Walmart or my prices are lower on Walmart?
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yes. So, and this is something that is related to what they're trying to sue Amazon for, because according to the policies, technically you need to offer the same price on Amazon, or the lowest price on the whole market, like your Shopify, your Walmart, Target, whatever. It needs to be the same on Amazon. So they literally are getting extremely sophisticated analyzing outside of Amazon, and when they find that your product is cheaper in other marketplaces, they will suppress it right away. Like, it's super easy, and it's a practice that I don't that I think is unfair, because Amazon charges for a lot of things that maybe those marketplaces don't charge for, and you need to take in consideration that. But it's their rules, it's their game, so we need to play along with it. Um, it's almost, or well, I haven't had any success getting out of that situation without updating the price outside.
Yeah, I've talked to people within Amazon, and they say that that's not the case. That it's, yeah, just a coincidence that that would happen. And I heard, I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard through the grapevine at some of these events that they had some legal action put against them because they said that they had to be the lowest in the marketplace, and that shouldn't be the case. And from
Sorry.
what I understand, they lost in court. And now don't take my word for it. That's just kind of what I've heard through the grapevine. And it just keeps showing up. A lot of our clients, they'll be on Walmart and then the buy box disappears.
Yeah.
So, Kels, how many questions do we have on flat files?
I think we have two more questions.
Why don't we get to them and maybe we can squeeze in that Explore.
Okay, great. Here, the first question from Marina. Question for Vanessa. Amazon started removing some of my listings from categories. They are still searchable in Sell, but no sales rank is shown. I opened several cases, and seller support replied that they couldn't fix it and couldn't disclose the reason.
Yeah, so very common issue. The problem is that your ASIN fell off the category 3. So it's not searchable anymore. Actually, like the only way that async shows up in the search is because you literally copy and paste the title or you use the async to search for that product. But technically, it's not searchable because it's not inside of a category or a subcategory. So it's not in the category 3. And that's the byproduct of falling off the category, and you don't have the BSR anymore. You don't have a ranking anymore. So the best way to do it now, Mary, like treat flat files as your savior, because the flat file, when you download or the category listing report or the specific category, it really doesn't matter to solve this issue. There is a column called item type keyword. And the item type keyword is what it recognizes your product through a subcategory. So sometimes maybe you download the category listing report and you see information there, but updating that, uploading it again in Seller Central is what it'll make your listings come back to that tree. And if it doesn't have information, that's where you have a problem. So you really need to take a look at it. In marketplaces like Canada, I know the flat file also have browsing no code, which is a number. So each subcategory have a number, and you can also use that to, of course, get it on track. Seller support is useless for this issue. Useless. They don't know. They cannot recognize it, and they don't know how to fix it. That's the first approach I'll do. I'll use a flat file. If that doesn't work, Marina, go to the help page, the help section, right? And you know where the menu of all the options that you can contact them for. There is one called change a listing attribute or something like that. When you click there and you input your ASIN, it'll ask you which attribute. Oh, yeah, exactly. Which attribute you want to change. Select the category, okay? And in that case, you're not changing it, but you want to update it. So maybe you'll see there that your ASIN doesn't have any category. If that's the case, that's the root cause of the problem, and it's super simple to identify that. If it had something, just change it to the same thing. Ask for the same category to be updated. If the system works, it will work automatically, and it will say like, yeah, you're good to go. It's perfect. Other times, they will open a case for the request. And that's the best thing that can happen to you when they open the case, because what it means is that in the backend, they will push that change. And when Amazon changes stuff, when the internal team changes stuff, that's like the biggest contribution that we can have. When Amazon contribute, like that's the highest rank of contribution. So that's how you solve it. But yeah, first approach, flat file, then or whatever you feel like doing, but that's how you solve it.
Very good. All right, Kels, next.
All right, our last question is from Argo. How do you get the red limited time deal badge? What needs to be done to the back end with pricing?
Red limited. Not sure. Is that I think that's more related to lining deals, the ones that have, I believe that's the one that has the time, right? And it's like 12 hours left. That's related to lining deals and special 7-day deals and stuff like that. That has nothing to do with your flat files or the backend pricing. That's a different dashboard where you can create coupons and you can create deals, and you need to submit your coupon and your deal through that dashboard. But with a category flat file, there is nothing that you can do just by the only column there to change prices and put an offer on is you have your MSRP, your retail price, and you have a sales price, which is like two different columns. Sometimes when you have a sale price, what you will see is your MSRP, your retail price will have in the detail page, you will have a line, cross line, and then you will see the sales price next to it, meaning that there is an offer. But as far as the time, the red one, that's a lining deal. And that is not, you don't change it or make it through a flat file, it's through the deals dashboard, and you need to request it, they need to approve it. That costs a fee, they charge you depending on the time of the year, they'll charge you differently. Yes.
They will sucker punch you right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even use lightning deals anymore, unless I'm trying to liquidate something. But it's you have to give up so much.
So much. I don't think it's worth the fee. The traffic is not really there. I don't know, it's because, or in my experience as a customer, I always feel that the products that are in lining deal are like cheap. I don't know. I mean, I don't find value there. I prefer to use coupons for sure, than lining deals. It's too
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah. They used to be great, but not so much anymore. Okay, you know what? We'll have you back on another podcast to talk about a couple of new tools and applications and whatever there is at that time. But I think that this is enough. We've got some really great information. I highly recommend anybody to re-listen to this, because Vanessa just landed a ton of information about flat files. So, anyways, let's get to, you've never seen this, have you?
No.
Okay, this is Wheel of Kelsey.
Yay.
All right, so get ready. Here we go.
It's time for the Wheel of Kelsey.
Okay,
right.
here we go.
Thank you, everyone who entered today's draw. This happens every single podcast where we do a special giveaway called the Wheel of Kelsey. I'm going to spin these names. If you are the winner, please email us at k@lunchwithnorm.com. You have 48 hours to reach us, or we will spin again. And so here we go. Wheel
Ooh,
of
this is
Kelsey.
exciting.
All right, the winner looks like, Marsha.
Marsha.
Marsha, all right.
Yay.
Congrats. Now, she has got an awesome product, really awesome product. I know what it is. She's actually sponsored some of the podcasts in the past, but I think that this listing audit is going to be incredible for her. Do you know Marsha?
I know Marsha, of course.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, there we go. So,
I
anyways,
saw her speak in the Empower event in Vegas. I think.
yes, that would be
Yes.
it. Yeah, she's a celebrity now. She's talking on every podcast. But but anyways, Marsha, congratulations. I think this is going to be really great. Vanessa, how do people get a hold of you if they want to get more information?
Yes, my channels of social media is full-time Amazon on Instagram and Facebook, Vanessa Hung on LinkedIn, Facebook also. If you want to email me for anything, you want to tell me your problem or whatever, it's Vanessa at fulltimeamazon.com. But the best way to contact me, like super fast, is Instagram. So I'm an Instagram user. That's full-time Amazon.
All right, fantastic. So please stick around. I wanted to talk to you a bit after the podcast, but thank you so much for being on. And let's see. I hope everybody enjoyed the show today. I thought we'd get into a couple of different topics, but this flat file thing was fantastic. So thank you again. And
thank you for the invite.
We will definitely have you back. So, hey, everybody. So happy Friday. Let's see, Monday. Monday is going to be an awesome show as well. We got one of the absolute top guys in SEO coming your way, Steve Wiedemann. He's been on before. He's absolutely changed a bunch of the way that we work and optimize a lot of what we do outside of our Amazon listing, but he is a SEO whiz. So every time he comes on to the podcast, he drops a ton of knowledge. If you are an Amazon seller and you don't have a Shopify account, make sure you listen. Make notes. This guy will drop nuggets all day long. It sounds like I'm excited about it. Yes, I am. All right. So Kelsey. Oh, before I do that though, Kelsey, you should have reminded me about this. Wanted to give a shout out to Sellerize. Sellerize is a comprehensive solution for your everyday business needs. It's everything you need to grow and scale your Amazon business in just one click. For more information, contact Dima and his team over at Sellerize, and Sellerize is with one R. Now you can come on.
All right. Awesome. Yes, today was a fantastic episode. I just want to give another big thank you to Vanessa.
Oh, man, she came on.
She literally had 30 minutes to prepare to come on, so that is amazing. Thank you so much. She's a lifesaver.
You know what? Vanessa would be awesome in our Patreon group.
Yeah, that is true. We'll definitely send an invite and see.
Yes.
So
see if she
speaking
accepts.
of Patreon, our Patreon is our membership program here at Lunch with Norm. So if you are interested in getting a bit deeper into your Amazon and e-commerce business, this is a place where you can go and get small group sessions with me and Norm. And we do Q&A sessions up to 3 times a month. And then we also do a guest lesson too. So we had Craig Darling from Google My Business. We've had Ben Leonard go over Instagram marketing strategies. We've had Afalabi go over.
And it's not like a podcast
suppliers.
Format. It is training, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. So if you are interested, you can go over to the Lunch with Norm website and just click on membership, and you can learn more about that there.
And there's gifts and merchandise and stuff.
You get a free
oh,
mug.
by the way, did you happen to see Simon's review of the Patreon product that he got?
Oh, of course.
That was
I've
funny.
seen. So if you are interested in watching our beloved Simon, you can go over to our Facebook group. That's Lunch with Norm, Amazon FBA, and e-commerce collective. That's where all the good stuff happens. It's a completely free community. We like to drop some knowledge there. You can ask your questions. And I think we actually have a couple exciting things planned, including
we got lots of exciting things planned. But you know what?
Contests happening. And,
we give like shout outs to, we talk about Simon and Tony, and there's a bunch of community members, but like Rosalind and Dannon, I've seen you on LinkedIn. We don't get a lot of LinkedIn viewers, but we'd love to expand that area out. But there's so many people in our neighborhood, in our community. Daniel, thank you for watching. We talk about this community. Amar, just going down some of these comments. Jeff Lassiter. So, Marina. There are a ton of people that I can just see, and I can't even see half of this stuff. I'm making it up as I go. But, Stephen Lawson, there's all these guys that are part of the community that we really love. I mean, we couldn't really do this podcast without you. And all the engagement we get. Alejandro, there's another person. So anyways, thank you for, being part of the community. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know everybody's got a lot of things going on, and to take an hour out of your day, hopefully you're getting a lot out of the podcast. So thank you. Enjoy your Friday, and we will talk to you next week.
Lunch with